Oh, this video is about suspension for your Y62. There's over 108 components, different components that we'll use for a Y62 when we're designing suspension for customers that come into us at 4x4 DNA.
Yeah, so we can actually have standard vehicles come in and give a GVM upgrade. We can have the call list with 2 options and then a 4085 GVM upgrade, which is the top mark.
So put a calculator together and we're going to show you how to use it and when to use it, and it'll give you a recipe to get the perfect parts for your car when you're towing with your Y62.
All right, to continue this discussion, we really have to head over to 4x4 DNA, because that's where all the experiences come from to work out the stuff for this tow calculator. So as you know, we do Y62s pretty much all day, every day, and we fit suspension to them all the time. And through experience or just trial and error, we've worked out what works and what doesn't work. Like, straight up, do not put airbags in factory coils at the back of a Y62. It doesn't work. We've seen them explode. Just don't do it. Not just for the destruction of the airbag, but it doesn't work. So you end up putting them to their absolute maximum, and you know, say you've got a 300 kilo on the ball van, it's not going to work. You need more than that. Kings aren't bad, but we found they top out around 200 kilos on the back end, like on the ball. So we went and actually developed our own. That's a dash coil standard height. It's not on our website, we'll put it up soon. But that's probably up to about 250 kilos on the ball. But if you've got more than that on the ball of your caravan, you can't really stay standard height and you have to start looking at a lift. So this question was coming up so often that we started putting together all the different combinations. I'm just walking upstairs. We're heading up this way. I don't know if you can see up there. This is Daryl's office, or we call it the fishbowl. So Daryl's our very clever product manager, and essentially we came up with every single scenario that you could do to a Y62 as far as suspension goes for towing. And we asked Daryl here, say hi Daryl, morning, eating breakfast, to build a calculator to help everyone basically work out what is the right suspension components to get the outcome you want. So you have to ask a few questions of yourself, you know, what's your ball weight, and a couple of other things I'll show you in a minute. But then it will spit out like a recipe as to exactly what you need to get the outcome you want. So good job, Daryl.
Thank you.
We're going to, I can't put this on the website, but the idea is to make this free for everyone to use on the website. But until then, you probably just have to call up Jason at Dash Off Road or Sharon at 4x4 DNA, and they can go through this with you. I'll show you what the calculator looks like. This is our boardroom, and I'll put it up on the big screen and we can do a couple of calculations together. All right, we've got it up on the screen. Where is it? Behind me here. Essentially, what we're going to be asking is what is the, and if you're getting suspension, these are the questions that like you should be getting asked by whoever's installing your suspension. So what weight is over the front of the car? Are you planning to have this as lifted or standard height? What's the down ball weight of your caravan or whatever you're towing? And then what weight's on the back of your car? You know, is it just a fridge and some drawers, or is there a rear bar, long range tank, those sorts of things? So I'll show you, this is what it looks like. You know, I probably should be just like screen sharing my computer, but we're just going to do it this way for ease. So if we go over here and say, all right, what's on the front of the car? So your options are, you can have no bar or predator bar because they're pretty light. You can have bar and meat and bar and winch. So, you know, for this example, let's do no bar, and then let's say we want to have it standard height. So standard height down here. And I should put the disclaimer in now. The products that you're seeing are the ones that we're used to using. So like, we don't use Dobinson, so I can't really comment on that. What's the towable weight of your caravan? I'm going to say less than 200 kilos. And what have we got in the back of the car? We've got fridge. Yeah, we'll just keep this as a light setup. Fridge, drawers, no cargo. All right. So that's what we've put out there. And then down the bottom here, it'll give you a recipe, and it will say, all right, do you need to do anything for the front coils? No. Do you need upper control arms? No. Do you need rear springs? So you could go with either the Kings or the Dash standard heights at the back. What airbags would you put in? Now we'd probably put the 119 airbag mans in, because that's what we use all the time. Do you need any sort of camber correction bushes? No. Billet arms? No. Can you get a GVM upgrade? And like we use Tompkins engineering, and with these guys, yeah, we can get 180 axle group mass GVM upgrade. So that's a pretty simple setup, so it's probably nothing amazing happening there. Probably a more common question is for the heavy setups. All right, so bar and winch on the front. Want to keep standard height, people do ask for that. I've got 300 kilos on the ball, or more than. What's in the back? I will just say it's light in the back, because that's pretty common. You'll see it will say nothing is available for that setup, and the reason for that is, one, when you have a bar and a winch on the front of a Y62, you've got to do something with the lift, otherwise you're going to run out of alignment. And also, as soon as you put 300 kilos on the ball, like, that's too much. Like, you basically you have to lift the car. So we kind of say, yeah, Kings top out around 200 kilos. The dash coils top out, for standard height anyway, top out about 250. If you've got more than that on the ball, you have to lift your car. And the big question then is, how do you lift it? So you can either do a coil lift, we use the Tough Dog stuff, or an on-track lift. So coil lifts for us turn out to be about 30 or 40 mil in height. All the on-track stuff always sits at. But let's do an example with that, so I can show you as well. So we're going to actually lift it now. We're going to do a coil lift. And you need specialised tools to do this, so just check that your mechanic's got this stuff. What's the weight fully loaded? I'm going to say, we'll do 300 kilos, why not? We'll do a heavy one. And we'll still keep it light in the back at the moment. All right, so now we've got some different options. Saying we're going to do a Tough Dog coil lift, and it tells you specifically what part numbers you need for a bar and winch. So you'll need the 790 HL. You don't have to have upper control arms when you're under 40 mil, but it's an option if you want to have more caster. Rear springs. So this is interesting. It's recommending the 795 HL, which is one of the heavier coils, and we're doing that because when you've got that much weight on the ball, you'll find that you need the spring to help the airbag. The airbag on its own won't be enough. It has recommended the 172 or the jumbo airbags from Airbag Man, but it's saying when you lift the car like that, it's going to be more than 40 mil with that rear coil. Even though it says 40, but with all the weight, we're kind of over-springing the car, so it's going to have some rake at the back. Now, to get wheel alignment, you really need to do something. Either camber control bushes at the back or billets, but because of the 300 kilo ball weight, that's like our own 4x4 DNA threshold to say, no, you need to have billet rear arms, because the lower control arm at the back is the weak point, and we know if we follow this recipe, you'll never have a problem. As long as you fix the camber at the back, and the billet arms do that. If you wanted to not spend the money on the billet arms and risk the factory ones bending, you could use the camber control bushes instead, but it's not recommended. So that gives you a bit of an example. And if we changed a couple of things here, like if we said it was 200 kilos, say, like that, I'm guessing it will say you don't have to have the billet lower control arms, you can get away with it, and it changed the part number to the 795. So this is going to be really helpful for people that are just bought a big caravan and want to tow and want to get this right, and I guess lean on the experience that we've had. All right, let's go, and this is showing that you can get 180 kilo GVM upgrade without billet arms, but if you do the billet, you can get a 300 kilo GVM increase. All right, let's max this out. Let's go as heavy as we can find. We're going to have bar and winch, we're going to have 300 on the ball, and we're going to have LRA and rear bar. We've got everything. So now it's going to tell us that you have to do billets and get that 300 kilo GVM potential upgrade. But if we changed it from a coil lift to the on-track lift, which will be a 50 mil, watch what happens. Because they've done the engineering, now we can get up to a 585 kilo GVM upgrade, but you do have to have the weight on the car to start with. Hope that makes sense. This, just for interest, this is all the questions and all the categories of like how it all works, and all the questions that, and like there's so many combinations to work this out, which Daryl's plugged in. And yeah, we want to make this like a free tool for you guys to be able to use. I've just got to work out how to get it from like an Excel spreadsheet onto our website, so you can go and, you know, run all the different calculations yourself. But at the moment, you just got to give us a call and we'll run it through for you. All right, I've had to run away because like the workshop is buzzing and everywhere's loud and there's rattle guns and music and everything happening. So I've hidden. We're building a new showroom at the moment at Sally. But so the last things that I haven't talked about is the coil delete airbag suspension, and that's basically because it's the silver bullet. It does everything. It doesn't matter what weight you put on the car or towable weight. You can have 500 kilos on there. Who cares? Just put some more PSI in. So we will put that into the calculator too. If you're thinking about going that way, it's brilliant. Still a little bit of work to be done on the control system. All the ADR stuff is signed off for the bags alone. And it drives so much better. Like I went down to York Peninsula. Anyone from South Australia knows that's the worst road ever. And when you tow, you generally put, you know, your airbags up, and it's such a bumpy ride going down there. Down there and back on the weekend with airbags, I wouldn't have even known I was towing. It just glided over the whole lot. So a bit more exy, but I think it's well worth it. Otherwise, you pretty much, if you've got a heavy ball load with these Y62s, you need to expect that we'll design to rake the back end of the car a bit. You can manage the camber with various ways. But when you put your caravan on, and especially these full-time travellers, it'll sit dead flat, and that's what we want. You don't want to be that guy who's at the caravan park and everyone's pointing at him because his bum's on the ground. So we can get you around that. All right, the last little disclaimer is this is a guide based on our experiences. It's a guide. Don't sue me if you do this and it doesn't work for you. But feel free to have a conversation with us, because we reckon we're pretty good at getting these setups right, because we do so many of them now. All right, that's it for this video. There will be more to come, and I'll do a bit of an announcement. We've got that ready to put on the website so you guys can use it. All right, thanks again for watching. And by the way, the reason we get good at this is because you guys support us so much and give us the experience and be able to do it over and over and over. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sending your cars to us and buying our parts, because that's how we get better at what we do. See you next time on YouTube. Yeah.